If you put the Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello next to the Yamaha Tracer 9 GT, you would never believe that they have so much in common. After all, both are aimed at riders who appreciate the sporty character of the bike when touring. It's just in very different ways. But which one is better? Stay tuned. From a purely visual point of view, you would never believe that the Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello S has so much in common with the Yamaha Tracer 9 GT. The same wheel sizes, the same seat heights, almost the same travel, both with electronically adjustable suspension, almost the same power, and both equipped as standard with amenities such as height adjustable windshields, heated grips, cruise control, and quick shifter up and down. But are they really that similar, or are they completely different? Moto Guzzi's approach to the new V100 Mandello S is completely different from Yamaha's approach to the Tracer 9 GT. As you can see from the first time you try the seat, with the seat in the lower position at 810 millimeters, the Tracer 9 has almost the same seat height as the V100 at 815 millimeters, but feels a little more like an adventure bike, while the Guzzi is actually a roadster with touring features. Just as the Italians want the most modern of all current Moto Guzzi to be understood. It is the engines that really separate the wheat from the chaff. 119 horsepower for the Yamaha and 115 horsepower for the Moto Guzzi may be very close, but everything else that makes up an engine is fundamentally different. The concepts alone, longitudinal V2 with the typical diagonally protruding cylinders on the Guzzi, inline triple CP3 on the Yamaha, justifiably lead us to expect different performance. In short, the V100 uses its displacement advantage of 150cc to score a little more in terms of superiority. 115 horsepower is available at 8,700 RPM, 1,300 RPM earlier than the 119 HP of the Yamaha, but the higher torque of 105 Newton meter at 6,750 RPM instead of 93 Newton meter at 7,000 RPM weighs more heavily. As a result, the sonorous, rumbling V100 with its typical vibrations is better used in the lower and mid-range and not necessarily revved up to the limiter at just under 10,000 RPM. Although it can do that, the liquid-cooled DOHC 4-valve engine is the most advanced Moto Guzzi has to offer today with a truly fine-tuned ride-by-wire system. Nevertheless, the agile cross-plane 3 engine of the Yamaha is no match, at least in this comparison. When it comes to sport, the Yamaha is eager to rev, screaming happily from the low-set exhaust, and due to its design, revs even higher than the V100. Equipped with a perfectly tuned ride-by-wire system, the Tracer 9 GT can also be revved up smoothly from the bottom of the rev range, making it a great touring bike. However, the roar that becomes more and more pronounced as you rev up encourages you to wind out, so you can hardly resist giving it the spurs. When it comes to the suspension, there is no debate. Although both bikes use high-quality, electronically adjustable suspension components, the Öhlins system on the Moto Guzzi offers far more adjustment options than the KYBU system on the Yamaha. On the Japanese bike, you can choose between a firmer and a softer setting, which should be enough for some riders. However, the Smart EC 2.0 in Swedish Gold can already tune the 2 available suspension modes, which can be individually applied to each of the 4 riding modes in 10 stages of compression and rebound. And that's not all. These 2 parameters can also be varied in 31 clicks each, just like a conventional fully adjustable suspension. Whether you need this is up to you, but in this comparison, it is only available on the Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello. As precise as the suspension of the Guzzis is, the handling in corners is still slightly better on the Yamaha. So apparently just 13 kilos less than the Moto Guzzi, 220 kilos ready to ride, has a positive effect on maneuverability and agility, possibly also the slightly narrower 180 tires. 180 5517 on the Yamaha, 190 5517 on the Guzzi. Both 120 70 17 at the front. Because even though I find the V100 Mandello S with its 190 rear tire surprisingly agile around the corners, the Yamaha is even easier to maneuver. The 100 Mandello S comes into its own when decelerating. The brakes on the Moto Guzzi are definitely better. The 298mm double disc system with radially mounted 4-piston calipers is, of course, perfectly operable and also grips well. But when you ride the Guzzi, you notice that it is even better. The response of the Brembo brake system with radial M432 calipers and 320mm double discs is awesome. The pressure point is wonderfully precise and the manual force is simply less than on the Yamaha. When it comes to electronic features and touring amenities, the Italian and Japanese bikes are surprisingly similar. Both have 6-axis IMU, offer cornering ABS and lean angle dependent traction control, and can be adjusted in different riding modes. On the Guzzi, I personally find it annoying that the modes are set using a switch on the right handlebar, which I actually only want to use for accelerating and braking, but you can set up all the modes exactly as you want them. On the Yamaha, the menu control is even more at home on the right-hand side. You navigate more or less precisely through the various setting options using the scroll wheel, which then has to be confirmed by pressing it, and you can assign 4 freely selectable parameters to the right-hand display. The right-hand display, the Tracer 9 GT, has 2 tiny 3.5-inch color TFT displays, for which you should have perfect eyesight. Above all, the display for the grip heating is praiseworthy is that it is on board as standard, can be adjusted in 10 stages, and also gets really hot. It's so small that it is better to remember the clicks with the scroll wheel to set the strength. The Guzzi also has heated grips and both have cruise control and quick shifter with blipper as standard. If you are into absolute luxury, you will also appreciate the electrically height adjustable windshield on the V100 Mandello S, even though the Tracer 9 GT with its much higher windshield can score with more touring quality, although it can only be adjusted manually with a handle and not electrically. But the Tracer 9 is embedded in the middle of the sports tour segment. The fact that it is one of the sportiest options for touring in this class, thanks to its ultra-agile CP3 engine, should therefore not be a disadvantage for sporty riders. The Italians, on the other hand, want to position the V100 Mandello S in the ranks of roadsters as the most suitable variant for touring. Mission accomplished, I would say. The Yamaha Tracer 9 GT is the price performance winner. All that remains to be assessed is the price, which unfortunately plays a certain role for most of us. The Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello S costs 17,999 euros in Germany, 19,999 euros in Austria, and 18,990 francs in Switzerland. A considerable chunk of money, but one that is well invested in this unique, charismatic motorcycle. The traditional and at the same time modern, powerful engine, the roadster character, garnished with the electric windshield and the absolutely unique flaps on the fairing, which extend from an adjustable speed, are reason enough to see the V100 Mandello S as a classy and therefore also legitimately somewhat more expensive alternative. Last but not least, the electronically adjustable Öhlins suspension adds to the price, but clearly increases its desirability. The Yamaha cost 14,899 euros in Germany, 16,499 euros in Austria, and 15,490 francs in Switzerland. At least 3,000 euros less than the Moto Guzzi. And apart from its really good touring equipment, it even comes with a side case set as standard. So if you also value the sporty character of the engine when touring and have no problems with the minimalist displays in the cockpit, you can save a lot of money, at least in comparison with the extravagant Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello. Conclusion on the Yamaha Tracer 9 GT. The Yamaha Tracer 9 GT is extremely agile and sporty. To ride with its inline triple, the 119 horsepower is already extremely potent in the naked bike derivative Yamaha MAT-09, and hardly less so on the Touring Tracer 9 GT. It is clear that the engineers in Japan are no beginners when it comes to touring qualities. The Tracer 9 GT spoils you with comfort thanks to the electronically adjustable suspension and a very comfortable riding position with good weather protection. All in all, it is still quite a touring sports bike. The look is unique, only the split mini displays are a matter of taste. Conclusion on the Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello S. Moto Guzzi does not want to push the V100 Mandellos into the sports tour segment and refers to it as a roadster suitable for touring. And in fact, it is more of a naked bike in terms of its comfortable riding position and agile handling, which conveys an amazing amount of touring character with its electrically adjustable windshield. The unique flaps are probably only noticeable at very low temperatures, but the engine fits perfectly with the confident appearance and the brakes are brilliantly tuned. Finally, the S version spoils you with a standard quick shifter, including blipper, heated grips, MIA communication system, tire pressure monitoring, and the electronically adjustable and suspension SmartX 2.0. Asking just under 20,000 euros or France for this may therefore only seem steep at first glance. Thank you for watching this side-by-side analysis. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed our content, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos in the future. Stay tuned for more.